So we actually did this tier list around, I want to say, a quarter of the season in. It was kind of early, about 10 games or so into the season we did this. And I thought it would be a good idea if we do it again. Now that we're over halfway through, I can judge these players a little bit better. So it's going to be interesting as well. We're going to compare certain players, where I put them in the last tier and where I put them on here. So we'll see who's been moved up, who's been moved down, etc. Of course, it's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. They're only the summer signings as well, because this is the tier list I made back then. If you want my January signing thoughts, then watch the tier list I did on the January signings. As always though, this is just as of right now, based on what they've done so far. Doesn't mean I think they're gonna be a bad signing or they're gonna flop. If I put them in flop, it just means I think so far they've not done so well. But anyway, we got signing of the summer. We've got great signing, good signing, average, meh, and flop. So as I said, I've looked back at the tier list we did back then, and I've put down some notable names where I put them. So we're gonna compare and go through all of that. But we got a lot of people here, so let's just get cracking. So we start off with Vicario. So in the last tier list, I put Vicario in great, and for me, he is still in great, but I think I'm gonna say he is a potential signing of the summer. So the way this works is I'll put some contenders in there, and then at the end I'll decide who the number one signing of the summer was. But yeah, Vicario has just kept up his brilliant form and has been sensational in goal. Sandro Tonali I put in flop, and I'm keeping him in flop simply because they paid so much money for him and he hasn't touched the pitch due to gambling. So yeah, flop. Ross Barkley. Now Ross Barkley is actually probably the person who's going to move up the highest in this tier list. Last time I put him in average, and I never thought I would say this, but I'm actually going to say Barkley is a contender for signing of the summer. It's crazy. The Ross Barkley revival this season has been mental. He has been one of the best players in the league in that position this season. That's not even an exaggeration. He has been so crucial to Luton, and without him, Luton are probably like Sheffield and well down there. He has been absolutely crucial to them, and for a free transfer, incredible. Fantastic stuff from Barkley. Mason Mount. So I put him in meh last tier list. I'm gonna put him flop though. Simply, I mean, maybe it's harsh, but it's because they paid a lot of money for him and he's barely played. When he has played, he's not really done much. I know he's had injuries, right? But at the end of the day, you pay that money right now. Has he delivered? No. So flop. Sander Berge. Sander Berge, I believe I put him in meh in the last tier list. I think I'll put him in average. He's been okay. He's been alright. I haven't really kept too many tabs on him and recently, so yeah, I'll put him in average. Manor Solomon. Now I actually put him in a good signing at the start, but I'm gonna put him in average, I think. Simply because I think he's been injured or something. I'm assuming he's injured because he just hasn't been played really since I did that tier list. So yeah, average. Adama. I'm gonna put Adama in meh. I'm gonna say flop because they got him on a free transfer, but he really hasn't done anything for Fulham. Again, I don't know how much he's even played for them. Maybe he's been injured. I don't know, but yeah, he's barely played. Ola Aina, I actually put in good signing, and I'm going to keep him there. I think he has been good for Forest. Very, very solid. Been impressed with him at AFCON as well. Hope he can bring that back to Forest. Not gonna lie, guys, I don't know who this is. Yeah, I can't remember who that is. Which is probably not a good sign for them, so they're going in average. Elanga, I put him in a good signing last time. he's still been pretty good for Forest. I've been good signing. He didn't really cost too much, and he's been fairly effective this season. James Trafford. Interesting. Now he's had some bad games. He had some bad games, but he's also had some really good games. I'll say he's been average. But there's Flanzer. For me, similar sort of thing to Mount. He's barely kicked a ball in a Palace shirt, so he has to be a flop for now. He could come good, but he has barely played. I don't know how many Premier League minutes this guy's played. Has he even made a start? I don't know. Justin Cliver, I'm gonna say good. He has settled in pretty nicely. Been one of the key men under Iraola, and has had some really good moments in a Bournemouth shirt. So good signing. Mike Trezor, flop. Barely played as well. Not really done anything of note in a Burnley shirt. Yuri Tielemans, he, similar to Ross Barkley, is another one who's going to be going up very high from last time. I actually had him as flop, but that was because at the start of the season he wasn't really playing. He was kind of just in and out of the side, but now he's actually playing more regularly, and he's actually done pretty well on a free transfer as well. It's a good signing. Don't think it's quite great, but it's a good signing so far for Villa. I've been impressed with him this season. Diaby, on the other hand, is one of those who's going to be falling down a bit. He was a great signing in the dealers we did back earlier in the season, but now I'm going to say meh. I'm not going to quite call him a flop because he has contributed this season, but I'm not sure what's entirely happened. But Bailey seems to have replaced him in the side. He's not really getting in the team too much anymore. Seemed to have fallen off. He started off the life at Villa so well, but it's just not quite clicked ever since. Alex Scott, I mean, he was injured at the start of the season, but now we got to see him play. He looks like a good signing. Edson Alvarez was a great signing before, and I'll keep him in the great signing bracket. He's been really good for West Ham in the midfield. Hold on. This is either Lavia or Caicedo. It's Caicedo. Okay. Don't want to get confused there. Caicedo. So last time I had him in meh. Now this is a tough one. I actually think Caicedo's performances have been average. They've been fine, but considering the price tag, I'm gonna say meh. I don't think he's a flop because he has contributed. He's played most games this season. He's not been terrible, but of course the price tag paid, you would expect a lot more. So I'm gonna say meh. Carlos Baleba, I'll say meh as well. He's not really featured too much, but he has played a little bit here and there. Dean Henderson. I'll say good signing. He's been solid in goal for Palace. I'm surprised he's their number one ahead of Sam Johnstone because I really rate him, but fair play to Henderson, he's been solid. Clement Longley, average. He's been alright. He has been okay. He hasn't been terrific in a Villa shirt, but yeah, he's been decent every time he plays. Cole Palmer, another one of those, is going to move up quite a bit. So he was in a good signing last time, but for me he's a contender for signing of the summer. He has been basically the only good Chelsea player this season. Despite us being bad, he has been exceptional. So good. So many goals, so many assists, one of the only consistent players in our side, and it just levels above everyone else in that Chelsea squad. Nathan Collins, meh. He's been okay, but because then they played quite a bit, not the best. Calvin Bassey, I actually had him in flop earlier, but I think he's redeemed himself, and I'd say he's been an average signing. I have been really impressed with him at AFCON though. He's been one of Nigeria's best players. Pretty sure this is Sekiam Dooney. Yeah, he's been okay. Average. Declan Rice. I had him as a great signing. Would I keep him there? All that stuff. Yeah, I'll keep him there. I'll keep him in great signing. I think he has slight I'll say meh. I'll say meh. He has had some really bad moments, but he has also had some good games. Divock Origi, flop, barely played. Petrovic, another one of those is going to move up a bit. He was in average last time because he had not even kicked a ball. I'm actually going to put him in great signing. He has been fantastic. Ever since Sanchez got injured, he's come in and he has fully taken his chance. Firmly asserted himself as our number one. Didn't cost too much. Great signing. Dominic Szoboszlai, I had him as a great signing. I'm going to drop him down slightly to good. I think he started off fantastically, did tail off a little bit, had a couple bad games, then got injured, but he's still been a good signing. Alex Iwobi, I say he's been a good signing. He's been pretty good for Fulham. Milos Kirks, I actually had him as a flop last time out. He made like a couple really bad errors early on in the season, but he's been perfectly fine ever since. A perfectly average signing. Gustavo Hammer. Yeah, I'll say meh. Simply because they paid quite a bit for him, and I mean it's not all his fault. Sheffield are doing bad, but I don't really think he's made a big impact on that side. I may be wrong. Luke Thomas, I'll say flop. Probably he really hasn't done anything in a Sheffield shirt. Ibrahim Sangare, meh. I kind of expected a bit more from Sangare. He came in from PSV. A lot of people were hyping him up. A lot of clubs wanted him. He's been fine, but he's not been amazing. Lewis Hall might seem harsh, but I'm actually going to say flop simply because they paid quite a bit for him, and he has literally barely kicked the ball. Even in injury crisis for Newcastle, he hasn't really featured too much. Not faced a bad play, he just hasn't really got on the pitch, so for now he's a flop. Cameron Archer, meh. He has had some really good moments in a Sheffield shirt, to be fair. But he's had moments, and again, for the price they paid, maybe expect a little bit more from him. Next up, Pau Torres. So I had him in a good signing last time. I'll probably boost him up to great signing. I think it's been really good for Villa, one of the better centre-backs in the league this season. Ryan Gravenberch. So I actually had him as an average signing. I'm going to drop him down to meh. He has not really been great so far for Liverpool. Not really adapted too well to the side, and yeah, he's been okay. He hasn't been bad enough to call him a flop, but he's not really done too much. Ansu Fati, so I had him as a good signing last time. I've probably dropped him down to average. I think again, I believe he's been injured. Yeah, I haven't really seen him feature too much, so I'm guessing that's the reason why. But yeah, that's why I just dropped it down slightly to average. Andre Onana, so I of course had him as flop at the start of the season. I think he has improved a lot. But considering he basically single-handedly knocked them out of the Champions League, he still is a flop. For me. He's going to have to do a lot more to make up for that. So right now he's a flop, but I will say he has improved a lot more than the start of the season. Timothy Castagna, he's been alright at Fulham. Jefferson Lerma, I say, has actually been a good signing. He's been really solid for Palace. Josko Gvardiol, so Gvardiol I had as average at the start of the season. You know, I'll probably keep him there. He's been alright. He has been okay. But considering the price they paid, I mean, you know, he hasn't lit it up so far. He's been fine. Kai Havertz, I had him as a flop at the start of the season. And similar to Onana, he has improved a lot since the start of the season. But the thing is, for the price they paid, I don't know if I can push him into meh. He has contributed, but I'm keeping him there. Really hasn't done anything of note in a Man City shirt. Nicholas Jackson. So I had him as average at the start of the season. I'm going to drop him down to meh. I don't think he's a flop simply because he came in for a low fee, little expectation. He has still produced numbers and he has had some good games, but in front of goal he's been really, really poor. So meh. Jeremy Doku, I had him as a great signing. Would I keep him there? I'll say good, simply because he has had some injuries, so that has taken him back a little bit as he's not played too much since that tier list, but he's still been a very good signing. Euron Timber, average, hasn't laced the boots, so can't judge him. Mohamed Kudus, I think I had him as average of a tier list before because he had barely played for West Ham, but I'm going to put him in a great signing. He's been fantastic for West Ham. Come up with some huge goals. Was good at the AFCON as well, and he looks like a superstar. Romeo Lavia has barely kicked the ball, been injured all season, average. Luis Sinisterra, I'll say, is a good signing. He has been pretty good when I've seen him in a Bournemouth shirt, contributed with some goals and assists, similar sort of impact to Justin Kluivert. James Maddison. Now I actually had him as the signing of the summer. Is he still a contender for signing of the summer? Considering he's been injured for pretty much all of the time after that tier list. I don't know. Because he has been a fantastic signing, of course, but the fact that he's been injured for a lot of this season now, I might have to drop it into great. I think we'll keep him in signing of the summer contention. He's in the contention, but I don't think he'll be retaining his crown. Mark Fleckenheimer's flop at the start of the season in the tier list. He has improved, but yeah, I'll keep him there. Mateo Kovacic, so I had him average at the start of the season, and I'll keep him there. I think he's been okay in a City shirt, not done amazing, not done too bad. Paid a modest fee for him, so he's been alright. Matt Doherty, yeah, he's been alright. Mavropanos, I'll say average as well. You can maybe argue good. He has started to break into that West Ham side, but they did pay a little bit of a decent fee for him, so just want to see a little bit more from him. Mickey van der Ven, I had him as a great signing before, and for me he has now moved into signing for summer contention. Been terrific. Gonzalo Montiel, yeah, he's been alright. Beto, I had him as a good signing last time. That is definitely changing. I think he's a meh. Not really scored the goals, not really had the impact you would want. Everton have been one of the worst teams in front of goal in the league, and he is a large part of that. Neil Mopey. Now I actually had Mopey as a meh. I'm actually going to move him up to average. I think he's actually had some decent moments in a Brentford shirt. He's actually looked pretty decent. You know what? I'm actually going to say good. He's contributed with some goals. Done some nice winding up of James Maddison. Yeah, good signing. Saniolo. I'm going to say flop. Really hasn't done much in a Villa shirt. The only thing he did was in that Sheffield United game, but yeah, hasn't done anything of note really, barely played for Villa. Christopher Nkunku has been injured for pretty much all of the season, average. Hudson Odoi, I think he's been a good signing. I put him in good signing before, and I'll keep him in good signing. Nuno Tavares, he's been okay, he's been alright. I should probably put him meh. He didn't really play too much under Cooper, but under Nuno he's played more, so meh. James Milner, I'm actually going to boost him up to a good signing. He's been really good for Brighton. Really versatile for them. He has played in multiple positions for them. Even seen him play on the wing at times. So yeah, good signing. pretty average. Dan Schumer, flop, barely played. Is he even still at them? I can't even remember. Jack Harrison, he's been good signing. He's been a good signing. He's been pretty solid for Everton on the wing. Igor has been alright. He's been okay, I would say. Ryan Giles has been a bit meh. I'm not sure how much he's actually played. Avi Doherty has been superb on the left, so not entirely sure how much Giles has played, but he's been okay. Max Aarons, so I had him as good signing before, and he can stay in the good signing with the other Bournemouth boys. Bournemouth did some real good business looking back. Yeah, consistent starter and solid player. Joao Pedro, so he was a good signing before he, for me, has moved up into signing of the summer contention. He has been on fire in front of goal since that deal is superb in Europa League and superb in the league. A lot of penalties granted, but still, I think only Haaland has scored more goals in all competitions than this guy, so superb signing. Verbruggen, so I actually had a flop when we did the deal is because he had been responsible for a lot of errors, but since then he's been real solid, average. Didi Chong, yeah, he's been okay, had a couple moments here and there. And Alexis McAllister, so I had him as average in the other tier list. I'm keeping there simply because he's been injured quite a bit, so hasn't really featured too much. When he has played, he's been okay, so average, can't really judge him too much. Jimenez is actually moving up quite a bit here. He was in flop when we did tier list before, but he's actually moved up into good signing, potentially even great signing. He has been really good in front of goal, rediscovered his goal scoring form for Fulham, and been a huge player for them. David Raya, so I had Raya as, where did I have Raya? Raya. Okay, so I had Raya as a good signing. I can't even find his name. I wrote his name somewhere. Where'd I put him? Raya. It doesn't matter. Anyway, where would I put David Raya? It's hard. I think I would say meh. He's been okay. He's had a bit of shaky moments. He has had some shaky moments, but overall, he's been okay. Still don't think it's a huge upgrade on Ramsdale, but he's been okay. Brennan Johnson, so I had him as meh before, and I'm going to keep him in meh. He's been alright, but again, a couple of moments here and there, but a lot of other Spurs attacks have been much better than Brennan this season. Robert Sanchez, I'll put him in meh. I mean, he's been injured pretty much since that tier list, and when he was playing, it didn't seem too good, and has now lost his place. Harvey Barnes, been injured for quite a lot of the season, average. Amrabat, I'm going to put him in meh. Don't think he's been too good in a Man United shirt at all, but they didn't really pay too much for him, so I won't call him a flop for that. I mean, Regulon, he's already gone. He's gone to Brentford now. It's only a 6-month loan, so sure, average. Endo's moving up a lot here. He was in flop before because he had barely played. I managed to move him all the way up to great signing. He has been really solid for Liverpool. Solved that DM role fairly nicely. Stepped up with McAllister and others injured, and before he went to the Asian Cup was looking really good. Tyler Adams starting to play now for Bournemouth Bucks, keeping him average. Tommy Doyle has been alright, average. Maybe even argue good. Ugo Chukwu, meh, been injured. Rasmus Højlund. So I believe I put him in flop before because he hadn't scored a goal then. This is tough. It's either meh or flop. The reason is kind of similar thing to Kai Kai Havertz. They paid a lot of money for him, and he's given them some goals, some moments. I don't think it's all been his fault. Lacked a lot of service. But for that price, so far, has he returned on that? No way. But I don't think he came in with as much expectation. I think he's had a lot less help and service. So for that reason, I'm gonna say meh. You start to pick up form as well recently, so yeah, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. Alright, next up we have Ward Prowse, who I put in great. And I think I'll keep him there. He has been really, really good for West Ham. Finally, Livramento. I think he was average last time. I'm actually going to boost him up to good. You can even argue great. He's been really, really good for Newcastle. Okay, here is a moment then to decide who has been so far the signing of the summer. We have Vicario, Barkley, Palmer, Madison, Van de Ven, and Joao Pedro. Now for me, Madison, he was signing for summer last time, but he is not going to be signing for summer this time. Been injured quite a bit, so I can't put him in there. Similar sort of thing to Van de Ven, been injured compared to the other guys who have played most of this season. And then I'm looking at... This is tough. I think Vicario recently has had a couple bad moments, especially from corners. This is really, really tough. I think Cole Palmer got cost the most. He has been good, but he has been a little bit inconsistent here and there, so I'm going to drop him down to great. Then there leaves 3. Joao Pedro. I think he was a bit of a slow starter to this season. Hasn't been incredible every single game, so I'm again going to drop him down. And it's between Ross Barkley and Vicario for signing of the summer. Who would have thought this when the summer concluded? But for me, Vicario over the course of the season has been better than Barkley. Barkley was a bit of a slow starter, as we saw. I put him in average in the tier list before. Vicario was in great signing before, and he has now boosted himself as the signing of the summer. So well done to Vicario. Those are my rankings. We are going to do this again. We will do this at the end of the season. But those are my halfway rankings of the signings that were made in the summer. Do you guys agree or disagree with those picks? And if you have enjoyed this video,